Football is often called the beautiful game. It's a sport that brings people together, fans, players, entire nations. But what if I told you that once, football didn't just bring people together for a match, it brought them together to stop a civil war. This is the story of how a single footballer, Didier Drogba, helped bring in peace to an entire nation. This is Côte d'Ivoire, or the Ivory Coast, a country in West Africa. In 2002, a civil war broke out, splitting the nation in two. The conflict was rooted in deep political and ethnic divisions, with the north controlled by a rebel faction known as the New Forces of Ivory Coast, led by Guillaume Soro, and the south under President Laurent Gbagbo's government. What started as a power struggle quickly escalated into a brutal conflict, with thousands of lives lost and millions displaced, leaving the country on the brink of collapse. But in 2005, something remarkable happened, something that no one could have predicted. Enter Didier Drogba.
Mikel finds Drogba, little flick on, Didier Drogba's in it! And Didier Drogba scores! Surely it's the goal that wins the FA Cup for Chelsea! He's the man for the big moment! He has done it again!
By 2005, Drogba was already a star, with 4 Premier League titles, 4 FA Cups, 3 League Cups, and the most esteemed prize of all, a Champions League winner's medal, all under his belt. But for Drogba, football was more than a career. It was a way to stay connected to his roots. Born in the Ivory Coast, Drogba had seen his country torn apart by civil war from afar. He was playing for Chelsea out in West London, but his heart was always with the Ivorian people. For Ivorians, he was more than just a footballer. He was a symbol of hope during a dark time for his country. The date was the 8th of October 2005. Ivory Coast was playing Sudan in a crucial match to qualify for the 2006 World Cup. It was a tense game, but in the end, Côte d'Ivoire won 3-1. For the first time in their history, the Elephants, the Ivory Coast national team, were going to the World Cup. The entire nation erupted in celebration. But what happened next was more than just football history. It was a moment that would change the country forever. Right after the match, a camera was ushered into the changing room amidst unfolding celebrations. Didier Drogba did something extraordinary. Surrounded by his teammates, with cameras rolling, he took the microphone and made a plea, not just to the fans, but to the entire country. Drogba said, "Men and women of the Ivory Coast, from the north, south, centre and west, we prove today that all Ivorians can coexist and play together with a shared aim, to qualify for the World Cup. We promised you that the celebrations would unite the people. A promise we now ask you to keep. Lay down your weapons and hold elections. All we want is to have fun, so stop firing your guns." Think about that for a moment. In a country torn apart by a war, where violence had become a daily reality, one man, one footballer was calling for peace. And what's even more incredible, it worked. Within a week of Drogba's plea, a ceasefire was declared. The power of his words, combined with the unifying joy of that World Cup qualification, was enough to bring both sides to the negotiation table. It wasn't the end of all the country's problems, but it was a crucial turning point. A moment when a nation that had been divided by war began to come back together. I think I said patient instead of nation.
Drogba, decent hit!
Getting in the box there for them, but Chelsea once again.
Drogba's effort! Oh yes! Didier Drogba!
Didier Drogba didn't just score goals, he reminded his country of something much more important, what they could achieve when they were united. It's not every day that a footballer stops a civil war, but in 2005, in Côte d'Ivoire, that's exactly what happens. Football is just a game, they say, but sometimes in the right hands, it can be much more than that. It can be a force for peace, a reminder of our shared humanity, and a symbol of unity in times of division. Didier Drogba's story shows us that no matter how divided we might be, there's always a way to come together, on the pitch and beyond it. In the end, it's not all about the goals we score, but the goals we strive for as a society. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.